Hi, that's me. My name is Pok. I'm a landscape architect. Basically, I design gardens for living. And yeah, I am a very, very lucky man. Why? Because I had a chance to work with two of the greatest minds in landscape architecture today. My first boss, Mr. George Hargrave, and this is his clean, minimalist landscape design, very elegant. My second boss, the best boss ever, Mr. Bill Bensley. Bill called himself a maximalist, and you can see why. Because, well, as you see my bosses, you may think they are totally different, but to me, they are quite similar. They are what I call signature designers. You know, those who got their own design language, their own design vocabularies. When you see their works, you know exactly who is the designer of that particular project. So I worship both of them. In fact, I wanted to be like them. 7 years ago, when I decided to set up my own practice, the first thing that came to my mind was that I needed to find my own signature design. And I thought that was the best way to be successful in my career. And I would like to follow their recipe. I try everything. I try straight line, I try curved line, zigzag line, even the Nike swoosh line. But no matter how hard I try, I failed again and again. At the time, I didn't know why, but my signature design did not work. So one day during a break, I found a video clip on YouTube, and it was a very, very old video clip of my idol, Bruce Lee. In the clip, he's explaining his fighting philosophy. Let's take a look.
This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Wow. Oh. Wow, I look at this and I understand why I fail now, because I thought I tried it too hard instead of let it flow. The only thing I care was the outside appearance of the teapot. But actually the most important thing is the water inside. So instead of focusing on how my garden would look like, I should concentrate on what kind of space they create. Because now I got it. To design is like fighting. You have to be flexible, you have to be open-minded, and you have to be like water. And this is one of our first projects. The client asked me to design a garden for this site in Soi Thong Law. When I first visited the site, I saw these beautiful rain trees planted there for more than 40 years ago. Of course, I will have to keep the trees, but how I'm going to design this garden? So the site was a home for a big Thai family. Thai family is quite different from Westerner. Normally, we have 3 generations in one house. We have grandparents, we have mom and dad, and children. By the way, that's my son. And that's my mom and dad. And normally, we treat our grandparents with the most respect. When we see them, we whine. When we walk past them, we bend down. Well, I thought this is a nice idea, and would like to use this idea to design my garden for this project. So basically, I thought of my trees as the grandparents, and I treat them with the most respect. Instead of thinking about how to create the most beautiful garden, what I'm doing is that I try to create a garden that complements the tree, make the tree as beautiful as it could be. And the thing is, I use the tree as the main focal point, and no matter where you sit in the garden, you can see the granddaddy, like this picture. So the tree become at the end of your visual. And design-wise, I use the inspiration from the name. The name of the project is Quattro, which means number 4. So I play with a combination of rectangular shapes. The bigger one become my pool, the smaller one become my terraces and steps, and the smallest one become a decorating partition of the pavilion wall. For this project, even though I try to create identity for the garden, but everything flows around my trees, and the trees become my teapot, and my design fill in seamlessly. My second project is about real estate. For real estate, the most important factor is location, location, and location. Bangkok is the same, because the most important factor to sell a condo is not a view, but the convenience. Because Bangkok traffic is the worst in the world. Normally we spend, everyone agree, we spend 2-3 hours a day in the car. That's insane. Those who cannot stand any longer move to the city instead. And this is the picture of my site when I first got hired. Don't let it deceive you, because this site is awesome. It's so good because it's right in the middle of everything. It's a 5 minutes walk from Siam Square. And the most important thing is got the BTS station right in front of the property. So convenience-wise, the site is perfect. Considering everything else is a nightmare for a designer like me, because it's trapped among concrete boxes, gigantic concrete boxes, including you see the very long BTS structure. It's huge in front of the doorstep. So for this project, even though we love the location, but we don't really like the neighbors. Yeah. So the goal is to create a better living space inside. So if the outside is a very crowded teapot, I need to craft my interior of the teapot. I want the space inside to be totally different from the outside surrounding. Once you walk through the gate, it's a totally different world. And the first move is I used an urban forest in front of the project. 10-meter tall trees were planted there to reduce the impact of the station. And I create a series of green hill to maximize the greenery. To animate the forest, I even designed the sculpture there. And take a look closer. This one is my favorite. He's happily eating my beautiful lawn. And you can see the difference between the inside of the teapot and outside of the teapot. Well, normally I work for rich people. That's not something I'm proud of. But I have a chance to work with a social intervention called the Asa Change. And the idea is they give me assignment to make the BTS station structure look nicer. And this one is our selected site. It's a Siam Square station. I know they wanted me to plant something there. But look at this, it's so dark. And I don't think it's a good idea. However, I found that something is missing. At the time, I didn't know yet. So I keep searching. This is an image from the Bangkok government. They have the same idea. They want to make the structure look nicer, but look at the way they do. They paint it blue with the angel flying. I look at this and, oh no. I don't think that's the right answer. Okay, let's take a step back, do a little more research. And I found this very old image of Siam Square. Some of you may not been born at the time. It's 26 years ago. And everything is so different. Open, no structure. And the most important is the street got the sunlight. Now I know what is missing in my site. It's the sky. So instead of painting something blue and angel, how about we keep the sky back to Siam Square? Oh, how are we going to do that? So I did a more study and found this typical section of the station. Damn, first I thought it's only one story, but actually it's a multi-story building. How could I make this disappear and return the sky back to the people of Siam Square? Oh, of course I'm not going to bomb the station. What I need is the three elements. I put solar cells and cameras on top of the roof, taking a live video image of the sky above the station, and then I project it down to the LED projector, installed underneath the structure so people can see it. And to this project is to change something bad to the good thing. To change something, I don't think I can do it alone. I cannot do it alone. It requires everyone's hand. So we propose the idea of crowdfunding technique that asks public like you guys to donate the money to make this real. One donation equal 1 unit. Oh, I could not change this. Okay. One donation equal 1 unit of the solar cell and the LED projector. And first, people may not notice the change, but eventually they will. And the more the sky reappears, the more they will talk about it. You're going to talk about it on social media. You talk about it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And the more people talking about it, we believe the more donation we will receive. And finally, I believe that we can get the completed sky back to Siam Square. Oh. Thank you. And with this, I can plant some tree now. Okay. After that, now I know that I can do something good for the public as well. So luckily, I got another chance. This is another site for the project. The client wanted me to do the landscape for the shopping mall, not something fancy. What they want is they want to do a small retail and with a high-end shop inside. Our scope is actually outside the building, is along the public footpath. They told me they want something talk of the town. Well, speaking of the public footpath, this is how the typical Bangkok footpath look like. You know, everyone knows this. It's so narrow, so many things going on, and it's impossible to walk. So I take a step back. Do we really need talk of the town here for another shopping mall? No. What we need, even though the area is not very big, what we need is a good sidewalk where you can really walk there. So instead of talk of the town, I call it walk of the town, which is an ideal place for you to walk. And this is how it looks like now. So I want to make it a wide pathway where you can have sunlight, where you can see the green, and where you can feel safety, and where you can feel good walking. So the building is actually higher than the footpath. So instead of you looking at the building basement, I want you to see some greenery along the way. To me, I use landscape as the way to connect with people. My landscape is like teapot. It defines space. And my space is like water. It creates experience. Be water, my friends.